Antarctica is one of the only places on Earth that still feels untouched. No cities, no permanent civilization, just ice, darkness, and silence stretching for thousands of miles. But beneath that ice lies something most people never think about. Hidden lakes, entire oceans trapped under Antarctica for millions of years. And in 2012, scientists studying one of those lakes detected something they could not explain. Something moving. The real discovery beneath Antarctica, this story begins with a real place. Lake Vostok, which is buried nearly 4 kilometers beneath Antarctica's ice sheet. Scientists believe it has been sealed off from the surface for at least 15 million years. No sunlight, no contact with the outside world. Yet satellites detected strange magnetic anomalies beneath the lake decades ago. In this story, an international research team is sent to investigate deeper than anyone ever has before. Polaris Deep Research Station, much for Antarctica, the station sat in complete isolation. Outside temperatures dropped below minus 60 degrees Celsius. During winter, the sun disappeared for months. Dr. Elena Volkov had worked in polar research for 12 years, but Antarctica still terrified her. Not because of the cold, because of the silence. At night, the frozen continent felt dead. And yet beneath the station, radar scans revealed movement under the ice almost every week. At first, scientists blamed shifting glaciers, but the movement patterns kept repeating. Large objects, changing direction, accelerating. That should have been impossible beneath 4 kilometers of solid ice. The signal 3 weeks into the mission, engineers lowered a thermal drilling system toward the hidden lake below. The operation took 19 straight hours. Finally, the drill pierced through. For the first time in history, a camera drone entered the dark waters beneath Lake Vostok. The control room erupted in applause as the first images appeared. Black water, floating particles, rock formations. Then the feed shook violently. The drone's lights flickered. Probably pressure interference, one technician muttered. Then sonar alarms activated. Something large had entered the scan radius. Elena leaned towards the monitor. The object was moving directly toward the drone. Fast contact. At first, they saw nothing. Then a shadow crossed the camera. Huge. The drone rotated automatically, trying to track movement. The water beyond the lights looked endless. Then everyone in the control room froze. 2 pale shapes appeared in the darkness, eyes, reflective white eyes staring directly into the camera. The drone feed glitched for 2 seconds. When the image returned, the thing was closer, much closer. The researchers could finally see part of it. Gray skin, long ridged structures along its body, movement that looked almost deliberate. Not like a fish, not like a whale. The drone operator whispered, "What the hell is that?" Then the creature vanished. The sonar still showed movement, circling below, watching. The scratches. When the drone returned to the surface, nobody spoke. Deep grooves covered the metal casing. 4 parallel scratches nearly cut through reinforced titanium. One engineer measured the marks silently. The spacing between the grooves suggested claws larger than a human hand. But that wasn't what disturbed Elena most. The scratches were fresh. Whatever touched the drone had done it slowly, carefully, as if examining it. The second dive. The next day, the team launched another drone equipped with military-grade floodlights and motion sensors. This time, the object appeared immediately. The sonar image showed something massive moving beneath the lake floor sediment, not swimming, crawling. The researchers watched in disbelief as the shape stopped directly beneath the drone. Then the lake floor moved, sediment exploded upward, and something emerged. The footage became the most controversial video in scientific history. The creature was enormous, at least 40 meters long. Its body resembled no known species. Pale skin stretched over massive skeletal ridges. Thin limb-like structures moved underneath it as it glided through the darkness. But the most disturbing part was its head. Forward-facing eyes, predatory eyes, eyes that appeared aware. The creature turned slowly toward the camera, then the feed died instantly. The leak officially, the footage was classified. Unofficially, someone uploaded part of it online. Within hours, millions watched the blurry Antarctic video. Most people dismissed it as fake. Others pointed out disturbing similarities to real Antarctic discoveries. Because strange things had already been found beneath the ice before, scientists have discovered hidden mountain ranges beneath Antarctica, active volcanoes under the ice, ancient microbial ecosystems, rivers flowing below glaciers, giant subglacial lakes connected by underground water systems. The deeper researchers explored Antarctica, the stranger it became. And now, people began asking a terrifying question. If life evolved beneath the ice in complete isolation for millions of years, what else could be down there? The magnetic anomaly days later, another discovery changed everything. Geologists scanning beneath Lake Vostok identified a massive magnetic structure buried under the sediment. Perfectly symmetrical. Natural formations don't create symmetrical magnetic fields. The structure stretched nearly 2 kilometers wide. Some researchers believed it could be an unusual mineral deposit. Others thought it looked artificial. Then seismic sensors detected movement inside it. Something beneath the lake was active. The storm on August 17th, Antarctica was hit by one of the worst storms ever recorded. Winds exceeded 200 kilometers per hour. Communication with the outside world became unstable. That night, motion alarms activated beneath the station. The object had returned, but this time there were multiple signals. 3 massive shapes moving below the ice shelf. The researchers stared silently as sonar tracked the objects circling underneath them. Then the station shook violently. A metal storage rack crashed onto the floor. Another impact followed. Something was hitting the ice from below, testing it. One scientist ran outside during the storm to inspect surface damage. He never came back. Only his flashlight was recovered. The ice around it was cracked from underneath. The recording at 3:14 a.m., security cameras captured something impossible near the drilling site, a pale shape emerging briefly from a fracture in the ice. The footage lasted only 4 seconds, but analysts later noticed something terrifying. The creature appeared to look directly at the camera before disappearing. Not random movement. Awareness. The station immediately prepared evacuation procedures, but weather conditions made escape impossible. They were trapped alone, above something alive beneath the ice. Elena's theory, Dr. Elena Volkov, reviewed the data for 12 straight hours before speaking to the team. What if this ecosystem was never completely isolated? She said quietly. Nobody answered. She pointed toward geological maps. Millions of years ago, Antarctica was warmer. Forests covered parts of the continent before it froze. Life existed there long before the ice arrived. If ancient species adapted slowly to underground lakes and geothermal heat, they could have survived, evolved, changed. In complete darkness for millions of years, the room fell silent because suddenly the impossible sounded realistic. The disappearance. The storm cleared 2 days later. When rescue aircraft finally reached Polaris Station, half the facility was abandoned, equipment destroyed, power systems damaged, most of the research team gone, no bodies were ever recovered. Official reports blamed the incident on structural collapse caused by ice fractures. But leaked documents told a different story. One final audio recording from Dr. Elena Volkov was recovered from the station servers. Her voice sounded exhausted, terrified. In the background, metal groaned loudly. Then she said, "It isn't just an animal?" Several seconds of silence followed. Then came a distant sound, low, echoing, almost like communication. Elena spoke one final sentence before the recording ended forever. "There are more of them under the ice." Static filled the audio, then nothing. The question nobody can answer today: satellite systems still detect unexplained movement beneath parts of Antarctica's ice sheet. Scientists officially attribute the signals to shifting glaciers and geothermal activity. Maybe they're right. But Antarctica remains one of the least explored places on Earth. Over 90% of its deep subsurface environment is still unmapped. Entire lakes remain untouched. Unknown ecosystems may still exist beneath the ice. And sometimes, late at night, researchers report strange sounds traveling through the frozen ground below them. Slow, deep, moving. As if something ancient is still alive under the ice, waiting for the continent above it to melt.